Yo, so, I finally started Season 5! I just watched Episode 1 of Season 5, which is called No Compromises. Yeah, I wrote it down, No Compromises. Yes, so yes, Season 5 begins, and to my joy, Sheridan and Delenn are still characters. I was going to pitch a fit, but we're good. We're still characters. I was just worried they were gonna fucking leave and then, you know, just mysteriously never be seen again, and I wouldn't have liked that. Anyway, of course Ivanova's gone, which saddens me deeply because she was the best. So, you know, that's unfortunate. So everyone is kind of getting settled into the new roles. There's a new station captain. Her name is Elizabeth Lockley. I'm displeased that she does not have the initials JS, but I guess, you know, what can you do? She's going to be interesting, I think. She's definitely a lot more by the book, and she was having the scene with Garibaldi at the end, and I was like, she's gonna be like Spock to Garibaldi's McCoy, isn't she? Because that was like the vibe I was getting. But a little bit less pleasant, really. Yeah, and she and Sheridan, like, I can just predict, like, there's going to be some conflict there because, you know, they were like, alright, you do the sedation stuff and he does the alliance stuff, but then at the end, this telepath group were like, well, Lockley said that we can't stay on the station, so, and he was like, well, I'm just going to say that that has to do with the alliance and you can, and it was like, she's probably not going to be happy about that. So yeah, some kind of, like, questions of overlapping jurisdiction. Well, let's see, the plot is like some guy tries to assassinate Sheridan. And, like, Garibaldi feels bad for Season 4, which, good, thank you, Garibaldi. You made me suffer. But he's, like, super dedicated to protecting Sheridan now. But, oh, and now he gets a new job, because he doesn't want to join Earth Force again, but he's like, well, you know, and he ends up getting to be, like, the head of intelligence or something in the Alliance, so that's cool. Which means he still gets to be on the station and, like, go to meetings and interact with everybody, so that's good. I wonder who the new first officer is supposed to be. Do they have one? Is it Corwin? Like, I don't know, because they said Lockley is Ivanova's replacement, which is like, yes, but she's now the captain of the station, so who gets promoted to be her second in command? I don't know. I hope it's not Corwin. He bores me. Well, anyway, Zach is in this, being amazing. I love Zach. Yeah, really, the only characters we've lost are Ivanova and Marcus, and I'm so sad about Ivanova leaving. Like, I don't really care that we lost Marcus, but Ivanova. But anyway, oh, let's see. Okay, so there's a new title sequence because it's a new season. I don't like this one that much because there's no, like, awesome overarching narration of the year is 2264 and this is the year of the Shadow War and we did stuff and Babylon 5's awesome, like all the other seasons. Yeah. Still, whatever. So I don't know. I guess I'm interested to see where everything goes as regards Lockley and as regards, like, well, really the other plot lines that haven't really been wrapped up. Like, I mean, like, is Londo the Emperor now? But he's just sort of, like, hanging out on the station. What's going on there? I really liked... Oh, there's a bit of Jakar in this that was great. Because Sheridan's like, oh, your way with words is just so great. Like, could you write the swearing in speech thing? And he's like, well, I certainly, you know, and he works so hard on it. And then in the end, he's just like, super done with the whole the guy trying to go Sheridan over and over, and he's just like, okay, just put your hand on the book and say I do. You fucks, I love you. So, whatever. So anyway, I'm excited for the next episode. Alright, well, I just watched episode 2 of season 5, I think it was called The Long Night of Londo or something. God, where do I even begin? Okay, so, I mean, basically, most of it takes place inside Londo's head, because he has a heart attack, and then, like, in his head talking to people. And they keep telling him, there's only one, you just have to say one thing and then you won't die. And he's like, what the fuck am I supposed to say? And it has all these like odd conversations with people, and there's some weird surreality where it's just like, this is odd, this just got odder. But ultimately, he's supposed to talk to Jakar, but he keeps like not wanting to do it. But then finally he does. And it gets really intense. So... yeah, I don't know where we can go with that. Because, I mean, it's not really Jakar. But, like... ow, but it's like... well, Jakar in his head tells him, essentially, well, the only thing... I mean, it basically comes down to that he needs to say that he's sorry, that he needs to apologize for all this shit that he did. And really apologize. Really be sorry that he did it, not sorry that he got caught. And he's just kind of like... Gah. So, finally he does, though. It's intense. Some intense stuff. Also, okay, he keeps refusing to turn around, and he's just kind of like, I don't want to die, but I don't really see what the difference is, you know. And then like Veer is in his head. In his head, Veer says that he would miss him, and I was like, stop. So, yeah, whatever. Ugh. I think that progressively, as the show goes on, I realize more and more that Veer is my favorite character, number one. And that his relationship with Londo is like the most interesting one on the show. So, yeah. Well, the other thing that's going on is that Lanier has done something. I'm not... he has decided that he's going to join the... No, actually he hasn't decided this. He has just gone and done it. He's going to join the Rangers. And it's ridiculous, but, like, there's this great scene where Delenn goes to him and is like, so, what the fuck? When were you going to tell me? And he's like, never. But, yeah... so Lanier is a hot mess. But he's like, I'm going to go and become a ranger, and then I'll be a better person. And Delenn is like, seriously, you're awesome right now. Why are you such a ridiculous whatever? Why do you have to be so ridiculous? But she's like, okay. And she's just kind of like, yeah, dude, I know. I already know that you're, like, in love with me, and all of that, like, junk has been going on, apparently, and I don't know how long, I don't know how long she's known, but she's not an idiot, she probably figured it out a while ago, but it's kind of funny, because also Sheridan knows now, too, so it's just kind of odd, but, oh, yeah, so, if you just, you know, you just watch this on YouTube, you probably don't follow my Tumblr, you don't have to, it's stupid, but sometimes I post things on there that have to do with what I'm watching, and in this case, I was laughing because Sheridan made a joke about a threesome, and I was like, because he was like, well, he said, well, you know, we have this saying on Earth that 3 is a crowd, and Delenn goes, on Minbar 3 is sacred, and he goes, well, I don't know what he said, but he's like laughing at himself, and she just looks at him like, no, stop, this is serious. But I laughed, and I was like, oh, Sheridan, you are such an adult. But, what's her face new lady wasn't in this at all, I just realized that. That's kind of odd, but hey, whatever. Vera and Lanier got a scene together. Yay, this like doesn't happen very often. And I got really excited. Because neither of them could sleep, so they met at like this bar, and fucking Vera was drinking a Shirley Temple, which they then thought was actually named after a temple named Shirley. But apparently it was really good. It was... I was just like laughing a lot during the exchange, because what does he say? Because there's like, if the humans say, it has been a hell of a night. It's been a hell of a day. And Lanier goes, yes, it's been a hell of a day. It's been he's like, it's been a hell of a year. It's been a hell of a 5 years. And then Vera goes, it's been a hell of a life. You win. Like, you shit. I don't know. Yeah, so. Apparently I ship this now. Like, I actually have for a while, but there's never really been any reason to. So, thanks, show. Thanks. Oh, God. How do I feel about Lanier deciding that he's going to be a ranger? Well, I feel like he needs to stop making decisions. I feel like he shouldn't really make a decision based on this. I just feel like maybe he should not. But, you know what? Whatever. And as Dylan says something about, like, yeah, well, maybe he needs, he needs to the universe needs to smack him in the face and make him realize what he's doing. But I just think it's interesting. Plus, like, the Rangers are cool, so why not, right? Jeez. I guess, in summary, I really enjoyed that. And, yes, I really did enjoy that. God, this show. Alright, well, anyway. Until next time. Alright. So I just watched episode 3. Yes, episode 3 of season 5. The Paragon of Animals. Oh, where do I begin? Oh, can I bitch about Telepath for a while? I do not like Byron. I don't. And maybe I'll change my mind at some point, but right now, he just pisses me off. Like, seriously, you're gonna stand there and complain about how telepaths are treated, which is completely legitimate, because, like, their lives are kind of terrible, but he's just a fucking prick. I hate him. Like, oh yeah, we're telepaths, so we're better than everybody else. Yeah, fuck you. Did Luke Skywalker go around saying he was better than everyone else because he could use the Force? I think fucking not. You're not better than anyone else. You're just some dip with stupid hair. Ugh, whatever. So he's pissing me off. Oh, wait. And then he quotes Hamlet. So the title is from that one soliloquy of Hamlet's, which begins, what a piece of work is man one, which actually got quoted in an early episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. One of the terrible ones where Picard is like, humanity is amazing, and Q is like, brah, no. But Q is also a dick, so, like, whatever. It's one of those early episodes where you just hate everybody and wish they would all die. Maybe that's just me. Oh, seriously, I hate it when people quote this and stuff, because it's like, sometimes they get the point, I guess, but, well, especially in the TNG one, they do not get the point, because Hamlet gives this is complaining about how, basically, because he's depressed, everything seems, from his view, to suck, and that includes humanity. And he's like, and he does a quote about how, the quote, I don't know if he's quoting something or if he's just coming up with it, I guess he is, but it's like, this is what man thinks of themselves, we're so great, and he's like, actually we suck, which is the point of the speech, is that he's saying it sarcastically, and people keep fucking quoting it in things, like, seriously, like, this is what, so fucking Byron goes and quotes this, and I'm like, wow, I hate you. Man does not think he's that great, and he isn't that great, and neither are you. Anyway. Man is certainly certainly not the paragon of animals, but then that's because nobody is the paragon of animals, because animals are just a bunch of idiots who kill each other as often as we do. I mean, come on. I hate it when people are like, oh, let's talk about how humanity is terrible. It's like, yes, it is, but that doesn't actually make us worse than anybody else. Ugh. Whatever. Fucking Byron. So, I have a lot of anger about this stupid haired idiot. Fucking telepaths, man. I don't like them. Okay, what else happened in this? Oh, there was like a plot. Who cares? The plot wasn't interesting. I mean, okay, it was kind of fun to see the Drazi get there. It was just kind of, I always like it when poor Sheridan and like the other kind of like main ambassadors are in charge of wrangling the stupid League of Non-Aligned Worlds who never want to agree on anything and always suck. So it was good to see them finally agreeing on something with some coercion, sure. Well, not coercion, really. Persuasion. Mostly at the expense of the Drazi being idiots, because, you know. And I guess a big thing I got a kick out of in this episode when I wasn't fuming was Jakar and his constant editing of his Declaration of Principles. Like at the end, he's like, nope, we have to redo it. I wrote it better. And Sheridan's like, why? So I was kind of laughing about that. It's like, no, come on, Jakar. Like, just give him a date. At that point, you can't revise it anymore. It's done. You turned it in. So that was funny. Also, there's a bit where he's like writing it, and Londo's like, oh, you misspelled liberty. There's no Y in liberty. You know, and Jakar's like, oh, go repress somebody else. I like those two. Yeah. Fucking telepaths, man. I don't even really have much to say about other stuff that happened because I'm just mostly needing to into telepaths. Garibaldi and his wonderful, well, you know, this is amoral, but everybody else is doing it, so we probably should too. Like, Garibaldi, Jesus fuck. I feel like he and Odo would really get along. Like, I've never really thought about this, but no, seriously, those two would be like best friends. It'd be great. But I guess a certain type of person tends to become the chief of security. But then actually, you look at Worf, and okay, yeah, Garibaldi's not the chief of security anymore, but you know, you look at Worf probably wouldn't do the same sorts of things, so whatever. But you know, he's not on the space station. The rules have got to be different. I mean, yeah. So that happened. So hopefully next episode there are no telepaths ruining my life. Because fuck telepaths, man. Just fuck them. Again, another episode without Lockley in it, so I guess she's like not really a main character. But I don't really care. But, you know, it's kind of like, okay. But, well, we'll see. So, I might watch another one today. I don't know. The internet's being shitty and, like, won't load half the websites I try to access, so that's wonderful. So maybe I will, because I'll just be bored. Alright. Today I watched, I think it was episode 4 of Series 5, A View from the Gallery. So this was a Lower Decks episode. So that's cool. Yes. They kind of spent the entire time being like, okay, how much do I like this? Do I like this? And I progressively liked it more and more as it went on, so that's good. Eventually, I finally stopped comparing it to the TNG Lower Decks episode, which is called Lower Decks, which is such a good episode. But anyway, yeah, I liked that. It was, you know, there's a couple, like, maintenance guys, and of course one of them's tall and one of them's short, because that's the rule. Those are the rules. And it's just, there's some sort of mysterious aliens attacking the station. Well, they're mysterious to the audience because the maintenance guys don't know what's going on. But we get to see it through their eyes, which I thought was actually pretty cool. It was a fun change of pace, and it was fun to see the kind of like the main characters through the eyes of these people who just know them as like the big shots and the people who make the decisions and get the glory. So yeah, I liked it. It was funny at times. That was good. Sheridan and Delenn were like being adorable all over the place again as usual. Well, okay, all over the place being like for a couple of scenes, but still, they are so cute. Yeah. I don't know, fucking Byron was in it again, but it was only for one scene, so I was kind of like, okay, whatever. I still don't like him. But he was in this less, so I didn't really have time to work up my, like, deep hatred of his stupid face. I was just kind of like, okay, that dick's still a character, let's move on. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have much to say about it. I don't know, I liked what were their names? I liked Mac and Bo. No, was it Mac and Bo? The maintenance guys. Because, I don't know, they seemed cool. They had, like, their thoughts about everything that was going on, and distinct personalities and everything. I liked them. Yeah, I don't know, so thumbs up for that episode. Lockley was in it again, like, what? Look, hey, the captain of the station's fucking in an episode. So it was good. There was an elevator scene. Which is Lockley yelling at Garibaldi about not having certain information. So it's fun to see them butting heads. Although it was kind of weird that they just kept arguing despite the fact the maintenance guys were in the elevator with them. I was like, okay. You think maybe you wouldn't continue that conversation with, like, random people watching? But granted, it's not like Starfleet. Like, in Starfleet, you super wouldn't do that, but the maintenance guys aren't, like, engineering ensigns. It's not, it's not the same thing, so it probably doesn't matter. But yeah, so it goes, and onward. I don't know, I mean, I think Season 5's alright so far. It's not, like, terrible, so, because, I mean, I've heard people who don't like Season 5, and it doesn't have that same, like, what are we gonna do about this major plot, but I don't care, really. I mean, and there's time. It was only the fourth episode. So, like, wow. Whatever. Alright, whatever. So, we'll see what happens in the next one. Alright. I just watched episode 5 of Season 5. Learning Curve. That one was alright. More like Minbari being weird. Weird Minbari culture. I really did like all the Minbari characters who were in this one. The 2 instructors and the 2 rangers in training. They were all very, I don't know, they were cool, they were sweet. I liked them. They were very sincere. And it was good to see Delenn acting in her role as Ranger 1, which we don't see very often, so that was cool. As far as the actual plot, I'm kind of like, eh. Zach was in it a lot. I like me some Zach. Oh, and there was more Garibaldi butting heads with Lockley. We finally found out that she was on the other, the wrong side during the little war. It's kind of interesting. Especially since she said, like, she was saying that as a commanding officer, she has to take responsibility for everybody below her. So she basically can't just run off half-cocked, breaking the rules. But if you're given an order that goes against your own morality, then you have a choice to make. And I'm like, so you were never given an order which actually went against your principles and stuff, even though you were supporting this martial law, like, nonsense that was happening? So it's kind of interesting. Okay, and then there's this thing at the end. I'm not sure if I'm just dumb, but I guess Sheridan I know Sheridan picked Lockley for a reason, but I don't know what that reason is, and I feel like now he's told Delenn, and she's not particularly happy about not having known already, but they didn't tell us. Like, come on, guys, tell me. So I'm just sitting there kind of like, okay, either they really haven't told me yet, or I'm just an idiot and totally forgot. So we'll see. I don't know if it's like they used to know each other kind of thing, or maybe she was more involved in fighting against them. And that was part of the reason you picked her. I mean, because I can kind of see Sheridan going, alright, I'm going to choose someone who, maybe, it makes sense to me that he would choose, that, he would want somebody on the station who was more connected to the other side of the conflict, so that it could, like, show that he was willing to bridge the gap and stuff, I mean, he won, but there's still surely a lot of people who are thinking, well, was that really a good thing, and are still kind of on the former president's side of things. I don't know. I suppose it'll get explained eventually. Yeah. As far as the plot, what do I care? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know much to say about this one. I don't know. Business as usual. Yeah, okay. Anyway. Until next time.